I used to whisper my needs. Not because they were small, but because somewhere along the way I learned that speaking too loudly made people leave. Especially him. He used to listen. In the beginning, he used to look at me like I mattered. And I remember how that felt. How it felt to be chosen, wanted, seen. But as the years went on, the volume of his attention faded, and my voice got quieter, until I was speaking in silence. It wasn't always toxic. In fact, it started with laughter, shared playlists, grocery runs that turned into dancing in the aisles, texts that made my cheeks burn. We were good. Until we weren't. Until every conversation became a negotiation. Until I became the only one apologizing. Until his bad days were mine to carry, and my bad days were mine alone. Until I began to confuse being quiet with being kind. But kindness doesn't mean erasing yourself. Love doesn't mean silence. There was a moment, a very specific moment. I had made his favorite dinner, wore the dress he said he liked, lit the candles, even played our old songs. He came home 2 hours late. Didn't notice the meal. Barely looked at me. I asked him how his day was. He shrugged. I said, "I missed you." He said, "Why?" And then he picked up his phone and scrolled. I sat there across from the man I once thought was my forever, and I felt like a guest in my own life. That night, I stood in the mirror and said my name out loud, just to remember it. It didn't start with leaving. It started with remembering. Remembering the girl I was before I met him. The one who used to laugh at her own jokes, dance barefoot in the kitchen, sing badly but loudly. The one who painted her walls yellow. Who read poetry. Who believed she deserved softness. So I did something small. I bought myself flowers. Not because it was a special day, but because I am special. And when he saw them, he asked, "Who are those from?" I said, "Me." And for the first time in a long time I felt real. I started talking to friends again. Started journaling. Stretching. Breathing. I stopped tiptoeing around his moods. And he noticed. He said I was acting distant. I said I was acting alive. He didn't like that. He said I was changing. I said, "I hope so. Because what is the point of staying small just to keep someone else comfortable?" There were nights I still cried. Still questioned myself. Still felt the urge to shrink back. But then I would hear my own voice again. And it was growing louder. I told him I wanted more. More kindness. More attention. More respect. He said I was being dramatic. Said I was too sensitive. Too emotional. Too much. I smiled. Because I used to think those things were flaws. Now I know they are superpowers. One morning, I woke up and the sky felt different. Not because the world had changed, but because I had. I made coffee and didn't ask if he wanted any. I went for a walk and didn't tell him where I was going. I stood in the sunlight and just breathed. For the first time in years I took up space. And when I came home he was there. Waiting. Watching. He said, "You seem different." I said, "I am." I didn't leave that day. I didn't have to. Because I had already returned. To myself. And that was the beginning. Not of the end. But of everything. Now I live in a space that feels like home. Not because of the furniture or the decor. But because I am in it. Fully. I laugh loudly. I speak boldly. I cry openly. I love deeply. And someday maybe someone will join me in that. But even if they don't, I know this. I will never dim myself again to be seen. Because now I see me. And I love what I see.